Hi, we've got a slightly different angle right now because I have a huge stack of books beside me and I didn't want you to be able to see them. But today we are filming an unhaul and quite a big one. A lot of things here. Some of them I haven't read, some of them I have read and I'm just not interested in keeping them anymore. Yeah, it's a big stack. And so let's get started. I'll kind of rush through them pretty quick but kind of tell you why I'm getting rid of them, but not what they're about. First off, we have People Like Us by Dana Mille. I read this, I gave it about 3 stars and it just didn't wow me enough to keep it. Same with The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. I might still read the second one, but I'm just not interested in keeping it. Half-Blood by Sally Green. I read this a long time ago and I kind of enjoyed it at the time and I was meaning to pick up the next ones in the series and I just never did, and now I'm like, meh. We have Eon and Iona by Alison Goodman. I've heard some mixed things about this since I picked them up. I picked them up secondhand and I'm just not interested in reading them anymore. Pre-Incarnate by Sean McAuliffe. I have read this. I read it recently. This was given to me as a gift by my sister-in-law, and she had read it and passed it on to me, and I'm going to pass it on. I enjoyed it but not enough to keep it on my shelf. It doesn't really fit the vibe of my shelf, I feel. The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. I have read this. I didn't love it. I was considering at the time. I think I've even... maybe another book in this series is in this stack. Otherwise I've already unhauled it. But I'm just not really interested in continuing on with this series. And I didn't really love this one. I have Dragon Claw, The Pool of Two Moons, and The Cursed Towers by Kate Forsyth. I like Kate Forsyth's middle grade series. Love that. This, I think, I'm just never going to get around to reading them, and it's more than just a trilogy. I don't have the time. I'm not invested enough. The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, or just Assassin's Apprentice. I don't think I have the time to invest myself in Robin Hobb, and I've heard mixed things about the first book anyway, and I can't bother dredging through it to get to better later ones. Battle Axe by Sarah Douglas. This is another big fantasy series that I just don't feel like I can commit to. I'd rather commit to a fantasy series that's up and coming and starting than an established one that's really long, and I don't even really know enough about this to dive into it. I'm also kind of... generic high fantasy doesn't appeal to me. It has to be like a very specific type of high fantasy, so yeah. We have Ink Heart and Ink Spell. These will probably end up on Jessie's shelf, so I won't probably unhaul them all the way, but I don't think I'm ever going to get around to reading these. I do want to watch the movie though. Like, I'm not totally uninterested. I just think I have so much other stuff I want to read first. Which is also the same theory of me unhauling all of the Vampire Academy series. I got these secondhand because I thought I would get around to reading them one day and feel the whatever everyone else felt back in 2012, but it's never gonna happen. Then we have a book that I've previously DNF'd, and that is The Map of Time, but also its sequel, The Map of the Sky. I love these covers. It actually makes me really sad because these covers are absolutely stunning. Book 3, which I never bought, is also absolutely stunning, but I DNF'd the first one and I planned to go back and try and read it again, but I honestly just found it really dull, so it never appealed to me to go back. A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I read this and really didn't enjoy it, so I'm not keeping it. Along similar veins, we have The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. Another Sally Green that I have no intention of continuing on the series with. Kitten! Then we have Rebel of the Sands by Alman Hamilton. This seems a bit generic and I can't find the motivation to pick it up. The Walled City by Ryan Groudon. Another book I think I would really like, but it's been too long since I bought it. I've lost interest in it, and there are so many other things I would rather read that I'm never going to get around to it, so it might as well go. My Sister Rosa by Justine La Balestier. Basically the same thing. I have kept another Justine La Balestier, but I was more interested in the plot of that. That one's Razorhurst. This one, less interested in the plot. I don't think I'll ever get around to it. The Across the Nightingale Floor Tales of the Atori series by Leanne Hearn. These are also available on audiobook, so if I decide to read them, I'll take that route. But there's Across the Nightingale Floor, Grass Piece Pillow, Brilliance of the Moon, and The Harsh Cry of the Heron. I did buy these secondhand, so not a huge loss. The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. This I enjoy, but not enough to keep on my shelf. I will pick up the next book by this author though, because I think there's promise in this. I do like this cover, but just meh. Another book that I thought was just pretty meh, this is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. I have no intention of continuing with this series. I didn't really like it. It was fine, but nothing to write home about, and so I'm not going to keep it. Same with Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, but I really didn't like this, so it's definitely going. This next book I've had on my, oh, this is The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I've read this one and then I've never bought another one in the series and have never continued on. I didn't really love this, I didn't hate it. Oh, but I don't think I'm ever going to continue, so might as well go. I didn't love it, so. You is another book that I just don't want to keep on my shelf. I've read it, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, it was pretty creepy, but I don't think it really matches the vibe of my shelf. I'm mostly fantasy and contemporary, not thriller, and the few kind of thrillery things I have suit the theme of my shelf a lot more. I don't really read domestic thrillers much at all, so this can go, but I have read it. Fire and Thorns, which I think is Girl of Fire and Thorns in the like other format, by Ray Carson. Again, I think I would like to read this series if I had nothing else on my shelf, but I have so many things I would rather read beforehand that it's just never going to get read. I DNF'd Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre, so I'm going to get rid of this, but also book 2, Dark Triumph, and book 3, Mortal Heart. I didn't like the first one, I'm not going to continue, so they can go. Loves, Lies and Spies by Cindy Anstey. I thought this was just average and I don't plan on reading any more from her, so it might as well go. Another book that I thought was mediocre, this is The Brainless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholke. I like her premises, but I feel like she doesn't follow through super well. I'm interested in reading more from her. And this one has a pretty cover, but it doesn't need to stay on my shelf. There's hot commodity space that could be taken up by better stuff. Another absolutely abysmal book that I really didn't like. I know a lot of people love this, but I'm in the camp that absolutely hates it. So I'm not going to keep it. And that's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I've never bought any of the rest of the series. I really don't intend to. It was very awful. Sorry, not sorry. Bye. Along the similar vein of something other people loved and I really didn't enjoy, we have The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. I kind of read these because they were like easily readable, but I didn't really enjoy myself that much reading them. I didn't really get what everyone absolutely adored about them, but I've read them now and they can go. They can go. A series that I think I would really love, especially the first book, but I'm just never going to get around to it, is The Shadow of the Wind and Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'm just never going to get around to reading these, so they might as well go. Another book that I was in the not enjoy camp for when it came out is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. I just didn't really get I think the romance in particular really didn't sell this for me. I didn't really enjoy it. I don't intend to continue the series and it doesn't need to stay on my shelf. Another series I DNF'd is Temeraire by Naomi Novik, and I also have Throne of Jade to get rid of. I might still try this on audiobook at some point, but I'm not going to read the physical copies, so they might as well go. A series I have read all of, but I don't plan to continue with the ones I didn't buy, and I really don't think they need to stay on my shelf, and that's the Richard Carle series, also because it went very downhill. So I had Heat Wave, Naked Heat, Heat Rises, Raging Heat, Deadly Heat, and Frozen Heat. I was going through a crime book phase when I bought and read these, and I enjoyed them at the time, but I'm never going to reread them and they might as well go. Another series that I think is just past its prime on my shelf, we have The Fifth Wave, The Infinite Sea, and The Last Star. I actually enjoyed The Infinite Sea and a lot of people didn't, but I didn't really enjoy The Last Star. Obviously The Fifth Wave is a masterpiece, but it's had its time on my shelf. I don't think it needs to stick around. The Demon's Lexicon by Sarah Rees Brennan. I just don't think I'm ever going to get around to reading this. Same with The Quick by Lauren Owen. It's just never going to happen. I'm never going to find time. Another series that I've read and it was decently mediocre, that's The Book of Ivy and The Revolution of Ivy by Amy Engel. Everyone went through this a long time ago. It was fine. It was pretty hyped at the time, but it wasn't anything special. Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. I got this secondhand. I read it, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would ever reread it, and it might as well go to a new home. And finally, but not really any climax, I guess, we have Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. I didn't love this. I might read the sequel if it comes up on Scribd, but I don't intend to read it physically, and this is just average, so I'm not going to keep it. So those are all the books I'm unhauling today. I always like slowly accumulate an unhaul pile and then eventually get around to filming a video, and this video has been a while in the making, so I can't send these out or anything to anyone. Don't even bother asking. They're probably going to be at the library within the next couple of days. I have a few personal friends in mind that might get some of them. My mum might get some of them, and otherwise they're going to go to the library. So that's it for these books. Bye bye, so long. Free some shelf space, free some floor space, and they're gone. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any of these that you also didn't like or really loved and want to argue with me about them to have a fun debate. So, because I love a fun debate. Otherwise I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!